Well, I've got a few slides and stuff and we're gonna go over collectively. But I want to go again and go one at a time and ask you, how is it going with your work with this path? Did you work the past week, Jane? We'll start with you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Did you work
Um,
with your core practice and medit like at night with this key? And how's your experience been?
Last week I do working on Cabala, but I haven't focused on the key as so I wasn't.
Okay. Well, we were off last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. No worries. Okay, so we're gonna get back into it again this week. Um, Jesse, did you work any with Temperance this week?
I did.
And anything you want to share? Any
Nothing that
thoughts,
nothing nothing that
concerns?
nothing that really comes up other than I just we also had Rachel's class, which
Mhm.
coincided with what
Yes.
with this. So
Yes. And did you work with that?
yeah.
And
So that's really cool. The playing with the light in the dark.
Mhm. Good.
It kind of connected it was kind of like a small, not even really there's no emotion to it. It's just like, oh, that makes perfect sense. And then I started to feel a lot more capable of just projecting an image because
Okay.
it was almost like we are doing it in the light, and I kind of
Mhm.
rushed ahead. I went right to, I wanted to see what it was like in the dark. So anyway, you could still see it. You know what I mean? So it's
Good.
kind of cool. That's not really the question you were asking me, but that's what that was just that was a fun little moment that I
Good.
enjoyed.
Good. Okay. Rachel, did you work any with Temperance this past week?
I have worked with Temperance. I did do it like the first couple of nights, and then I switched over to this because I wanted to try this awesome. Thank you so much for sending this out to everybody. I appreciate it because I was just going to draw it, and how boring would that be? Because this is powerful with the
Okay.
red, the red and the blue and the mind, and then the activity of the red, and yeah, I just really appreciate that. But I did do the temperance the first couple of nights, and it was cool. The temperance key to me is very powerful with all the red and the God here in the center. Um, a lot, the water and the fire and the fire and the water and he's stepping into
Yes.
your mind and I mean, there's just this key is it's complex, but there's so much power in the key and there's
Yes.
so much that we I could go on and on and on about it, but um I enjoyed working with it and I feel the power in it. I'll just leave it at that.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Rachel. Easy. How's your experience? And anything on your mind? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, just first to echo what Rachel just shared, complex is definitely the word that always comes up with this card here. Um, yeah, so just from a working with it standpoint, I won't say I was consistent every day, but you know,
Mhm.
more days than not. I did spend time with the card. I've actually been, you know, doing it at night, but also just kind of like it's been very relevant with some things going on. But just like even like during the day with stuff, because I mean, like, I do have this pops up the printed out,
Oh, nice. Yes.
big card right there. Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, again, it was like a couple of months ago, and it's when you shared about how like to print it out and laminate it, this has been super, super helpful for
Oh,
Good.
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the whole, thing there. But and so I did that for all the cards and it's very helpful there because again, that's
Awesome.
yeah, so I've got a
Yes.
filing cabinet down here of everything you've mailed us that
Mhm.
is the cards is printed out that way. So it's been
Wow,
very,
that's
yeah,
great.
Great.
yeah, it's all fun projects. But I share that because that's been one of the I guess I could say things I've been playing with regards to at night, because there's seeing it on like this my screen right on like a tablet.
Right.
That's like light being shot into my eyeballs, right?
Right.
Versus, you know, a the whole thing about like, not having a bright screen at night and all that. And so it's like, what would it
Mhm.
be like with the cards? So that was part of it. And also just like laying them out and then like journaling and like writing on stuff, like that's been really helpful. But I share all that because yeah, I've been using that just most nights, just like the last little bit. I feel if I were to be a little bit critical of myself here, would need to spend more time um in the more of like a meditative state. So it'll just be like, a couple of minutes, just real quick right here. But it still does I mean, it still definitely feels good. It's I haven't any like specific like from a dream standpoint, no like lucid dream per se. But there have been it's hard to explain, but it's just been I've been very grateful for the help that's been in my life this past week. I've had a lot of things going on in my life,
Good.
and then there's been my
Support.
yes, support exactly right there. And I share this as someone who has I'm overcoming the challenges of like not asking for help. So that's been kind of like
Mhm.
and so part of that, where it kind of overlaps a bit, and I just wrap it up here is just that whole thing of like with this key. I mean, like I said, with regards to just complex, but also just like there's such a I don't know. The word I always keep coming back to is like evolution, flourishing, like just that type of element. And there was a lot of let's say like exploratory work, just like writing out and journaling with regards to that and some other things. At the same time, too, within my life, there have been opportunities for that, and part of it being like ask for help. So it's been great overall. But again, just a couple of takeaways that I've got with regards to like working with it this week, I imagine, since we're still
Great.
working. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Dana, anything you want to share about your work with Temperance? Anything
Um,
occurring for you?
yes, I think I was really looking forward to this whole series because I'd had experience doing a lot of work with the spinal meditation, and the temperance card is so rich and complex, as Easy was saying, and I don't, my work's not finished with that, but it's dovetailing with my overall intention and goals, which is to kind of merge as much as I can with my higher self uh, and this kind of love consciousness that I think of. But uh, I wanted to tell you specifically that I'm trying to have a really direct, as you suggested that we work on, have a direct connection with the higher self, something I can know when I'm in touch with them, and I kind of think of
Yes.
them as gender neutral, and
Uh-huh.
and I also, but what helped the last night I decided, okay, I got to try because I really love that piece of staring at an image and then looking at the after image and or
Yes.
trying to create all the things in the image. So that I've been pretty consistent with. But
Great.
anyway, I tried it with that image of the angel that is like of stars. The angel is in stars because I don't especially love the image of the angel on the card on the key, but I do so I want to develop my own relationship with all the cards and with whatever we're working with. And so
Yes.
but I did this. I stared at the angel image you sent this with this last batch and earlier, but the after image was fabulous. It 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 was not what I expected, and it
Hmm.
was really good.
Hmm.
That one.
This
Um,
one?
yes. And
Great.
partly I think I don't like seeing Michael as the warrior,
Uh-huh.
but I those are like this personalities issues.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm going too deep into this, but I really enjoyed that and wanted to thank you also for all the images because
Okay,
they're really effective.
great. That's
So
excellent.
that's mainly it.
That's excellent. That is good, very solid work. And yeah, good job. And just for everyone, exactly what Dana just went over, the core practice and the after images, holding the and then recalling, like seeing the image within as if it were physically there. These are very powerful and deep practices that are really close deeper into the heart of Kabbalah and the Western tradition. And know that the more you do this consistently, this spans out over long periods of time. So this you're planting so many seeds in your own subconscious and in the subconscious of the collective when you do this type of work because the part of us that knows what's happening, which is which is the angel in key 14, operates and works on these very high and deep levels of the collective mind. But we are just we're mostly at the level of the self-conscious mind and mostly confined to this vibratory state. But we are working all the time to deepen our self-conscious awareness so that we can keep it longer and longer. And that transfers over from our daily practice into the dream state, and hence we develop our lucid dreaming abilities. And then over time and practice mindfulness, we just wake up a little more and a little more and a little more. And it's there's this teaching on the path that says, that which we are seeking is seeking us. And the teaching in the tradition is we do the work as if we are the ones doing it, and we do it diligently. And no matter what our practice is, we do it consistently. That's the only way to really make like what is actual attainment and progress, to make progress on the path. But the more we do this, the more we start to realize and we get glimpses into the path where we do connect consciously more and more to this being in key 14. All right, enough of that. Victoria, how's your work with temperance going?
That's going well. I've been thinking about how the wings come up close around the head
Mm,
and, you know, go along with the halo effect and then the rainbow is behind, but then it doesn't seem to, we don't seem to see the complete circle that it would seem to make, but it's interesting,
yeah, that's a good observation.
yeah, how it all
Mm,
focuses on the shining of the soul image and the halo around the head.
yes, nice. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna just kind of get into our slides here for a moment, and there'll be two main things that we covered tonight. So thank you all. Let's get started. Okay. Welcome to Lucid Ascent, rising on the plains through the middle pillar with alchemical Cabala. So this is our third class of three on the path of temperance and the holy guardian angel. There's a saying, I don't remember I've heard a couple people it be attributed to, but the statement is persistence alone is omnipotent. I like this quote. And I would just kind of add on to that the question, what's more persistent than omnipotence? Thank you all for sharing your experiences with temperance. Let's look at the portion of the tree where temperance is. We know temperance and the holy guardian angel is the middle path on the middle pillar. And the statement is wise person follows the middle path. So on the tree, there's something we're going to muse on together. So here are the three paths in sequence in the Book of Wisdom, keys 13, 14, and 15. 14 being directly between the two. And connecting the three lower spheres just below the sun. They're all connecting to the sun. So looking at this imagery and the paths and what you know about these keys and the paths, just kind of contemplate this and unmute yourselves one at a time and just share what occurs to you. In the temperance key in relationship to the path to its left and the path to its right. And I'll just restate, or actually I'll ask you guys. On the simple tree, what is the green sphere?
Venus or love?
Desire.
Perfect. Yes, all correct. But the absolute simplest definition is desire, and the orange sphere,
Intellect.
intellect, right? Thought, right? And the purple sphere.
Yesod, the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is their combination. It's the astral plane and it's the vital soul on the simple tree, right? So what I want to point out, what you see here first off, is when we're dealing with temperance, notice Malkut is below all of these paths. So we're talking about a level of our being and reality that transcends and it is deeper and higher vibratorily speaking than the earth plane itself. All right. So starting there, just kind of muse on these paths here and unmute yourselves and just share what occurs to you and anything.
I'm the cube comes to mind, the
Okay.
western face of the cube where the intellect or the deceiver key runs
Good.
along the lower
Yep. All these
below.
paths are on the western face, aren't they?
Hmm.
Okay. Go on.
And that, guided by the holy guardian angel, I kind of imagine we then move up from the below to the above via the transition key there,
Excellent.
which is also we've gone through this a few times now, but the star key is then the hook which
Yes.
pulls up on the
And the star key is this path, right? The one if you can see the one here,
oh,
desire to the moon, right? On the tree, that's where the star key falls.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the excellent connections. Yes.
Makes me wonder about the star key in its relationship to the moon and desire there.
Yes.
Because I would say there seems to be a revelation that results from these keys.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So the moon is the astral plane, and astra means light of the stars. So at this level of the tree and deeper, we're dealing with the vibratory levels of the starlight, right? We look out at night, we look out and we see the stars, as little points of light. And we can, in our imagination, in our intellect here, we can conceive, if we could perceive, if we had a greater vision than what our physical sight can see, we could see light connecting every one of these stars. Like we're just swimming in a sea of light, of starlight. And this ethereal light has within it all of these intelligences that are the paths on the tree. And it's through this medium of the astral light, that we come to have these inner experiences with these intelligences that assist us in remembering and knowing ourselves more deeply. Who else? What do you see in this section?
Well, temperance is in the center, and to the right is the transition or new changes, and maybe the devil on the left is, or the deceiver on the left is the old ways, and they're trying to change, and they need to lift off the chains, but the temperance is in the center and helping bring about those changes.
Good.
Because the deceiver might be about fire in some ways, and then
Yes.
the water is in the transition key, but in the center, the water is in the fire, and the fire is in the water.
Excellent. So each of these cues shows us a trinity, right?
Yeah.
And so contemplating these figures, right? And of course, we see the similarity between the figure in 14 and the one in 15. One is a shadow figure, and one's just nothing but light, right? We know that key 13 is Scorpio, right? And in the occult aspect, Scorpio is the primary libido force, right? It's the procreative force. And when it's raised, the symbol in the tradition is the eagle, right? And it's our aspiration. It's what we aspire. What we so looking at the tree, the eagle and the lion, and the Sephiroth on each side, notice we have desire and we have thoughts and desire. This is primarily the currents and the very potent forces that the angel is tempering. This is the alchemy. So part of knowing ourselves, and no small part of knowing ourselves, is being honest with ourselves about what it is we actually desire. Now, this can be tricky, right? Because the world tells you what you're supposed to desire and what you're not. And the world has a long list of rules of what you're supposed to think and what you're not. But we all have what is real for us about what it is we really desire and what it is where we really place our thoughts. So how closely do you pay attention to what you really desire and what you actually where your thoughts and attention is throughout the day?
Hmm.
Just
This
as a
is
very basic, like totally basic understanding of all this, I mean, it's just to go from your side to the self. We need to go up the middle path, which would be not leaning too far towards the thoughts and not leaning too far towards our desire, but find
yes.
very, very defined balance between the two to move
Yes.
us from that astral plane up to the self and
Yes.
self. So, I mean, that's a very basic,
That's excellent.
that's what I see.
You're spot on. That's excellent, Rachel. Yes. 100% that. And it can't be only an intellectual exercise or discipline, right? It can't be. Because if it's just the intellect, we're unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just the desire nature, we're unbalanced. The key, one main key here is to be as honest with ourselves as we possibly can be. This section right here on the tree is for most of us on the spiritual path. This is where most of our work occurs when we are incarnate in the world, because we are dealing with mastering all of the elements of our incarnation, our desire nature, our mind, where, concentration. Most people can't hold their thoughts on one in one area for more than a few seconds at a time without some intrusion occurring. So it's that simple. It's a daily practice. And the angel here in this key is the living spiritual intelligence that aids us on the path to wake up more and more and to be able to come into this mastery so that we can consciously become awake on the inner planes and the higher vibratory levels of reality, which our goal and aim, of course, is the sun. We're already at this place or space, but most of us don't have conscious access to this. On a consistent basis. Let's put it that way. So, the whole point of this work, yes, Rachel, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to make a point. I'm just looking at this and I see between Yasad and the self, the sun, the white beam of light from one to the next level. It's a lot of God, holiness, like staying focused, all kinds of things I could say about what that white is. But it's like fits right in. There's the head all lit up like the sun, and
Yeah.
there's the path right up the middle, and there it is, the white beam of light that leads us to the self. And it's a totally imbalance between our thoughts and uh, love and Venus and desire nature. So
Yes.
yeah.
Very nice. So one of the aspects of temperance is practicing the presence. So what happens for all of us naturally when we learn to still the mind and we learn to allow the emotional body to rest and to be still. When both of these aspects of our nature, these two currents, right, of the Ida and the Pingala, when the waters are still, what happens is who one's being really is becomes more palpably present as a living presence. Because one's nature is truly whole and holy when the mind is still and the emotional body is still. The holy presence, the Shekinah, becomes, we become aware of it. You could just feel that right now. Just just sense that still presence. It's eternally present, but people who have a mind that's just nonstop, like like doom scrolling social media thoughts, or uh or an emotional nature that is either constantly does wanting this or that, or craving this or that and reaching, these are like they're like energy leaps from the core.
They
And
they need to be tempered,
yes,
go up the
yes,
middle, and to
yes,
holy self above.
yes. The
So
angel takes these and brings them in together and starts, doing the alchemical process with them, pouring one on top of the other, but it's continuing to fold it into that sacred fire that's in the water within us and the water within the fire. And it builds it and builds it and builds it in the furnace, right? Until all of those patterns that we are born into, it's not anyone's per se fault. It's just part of the package of being born into the world. Is you bring your own stuff with you that you've brought from previous incarnations, but you also are born into the patterns that are consistent with the world, the mass world. And it's those things that you also have to incinerate. You see, both 15 and 16 have that torch. 15, he's really lighting up the lower sinners, lower animal nature of our desires. And 14, that same nature is being raised now. We see Scorpios getting purified. We see the whiteness of it. Not purified like, oh, now you're good, like you were bad before, but purified like, okay, all you had these desires, you had, let's say, 100 desires. Now you really desire this. And you take all of those desires and you throw them into the same furnace, same thing, until whatever it is you desire the most, sit with and nurture and cultivate that desire, that fire in the belly. Like you've got to desire, really purify it by wanting this experience or whatever it is. You want love, then you give everything in you to that desire and you nurture it, you cultivate it, and you work and you hold the imagery of the angel and you ask the angel to help you transmute and raise and to show you what to do with this fire, this desire. You don't stomp it out. You don't pretend you don't have it, no matter what it is. If it's, what are those little oatmeal things? Those little, you know what I'm talking about? Those little
animal cookies.
oatmeal cream pies. Have anyone ever had those? I don't know why that came to mind. But if people have, you know, when you're in the world, there's only a handful of things that people kind of crave. One of them's food, of course, right? And how strong is your desire for that? So of your animal nature, just ask yourself. You don't have to tell anyone. What is your strongest desire in your animal nature, right? And just observe it. Pay attention. This is making yourself to stay more and more awake. day by day. And then asking the guardian angel in 14 to assist you with these desires. Okay, we're going to move forwards.
Can I say one more thing?
Please.
I'm seeing a lot tonight. So the green, love, Venus,
Yes.
desire.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to the left through transition from the love and the desire. And as you can see, the skeleton, what color is he? He's all white.
Yes.
It's purifying and holy, making that holiness of the desire nature and bringing it to the self, as is the temperance key.
Yep.
While the deceiver key, our thoughts are actually chains around us that are an illusion. And when we lift them off of us, then that part, our thought nature, what was it? The intellect nature is also purified because the deceiver is thrown off, and that also leads us to the self. And I think there's a little bit of white right there on his beard.
Yes, that's true, right there.
And there's the line to the self, as the temperance is very strong, and the right side, the desire nature. I mean, that skeleton is just white all the way up, and that's what love transforms us. You know,
Yes.
first it's desire, then it's purified into love, and then that love transforms and purifies us to be ready to approach the self. What do you think?
Excellent. Very strong and absolutely on point. Yes. And I'll just throw this in here. We're talking about a love that is almost unspeakable. Most people in the world, we have these ideas of love that are worldly ideas of love. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just one level of love. But for most people, love is just simply worldly desires. But it's all still love. But this transcendent love at the heart and above is what is calling us back to itself, to ourself. And that is like a huge death to the identity that we carry with us most of the time in the world. Okay, very good. We're going to move forward. We're going to look at this. All right. Let's give this some of your attention, please. So the angel in the temperance key is, in the Western tradition, Michael or Mikael. And the name means who is like God. Michael is the angel of the sun in the Western tradition. And the whole or holy guardian angel that oversees our personal and our collective spiritual development. The being in the temperance key is a gatekeeper to the heart of the tree. In one of the esoteric or secret names of the sun in the tradition is the secret heart of humanity. So what you see here is the name or the formula for Mikael spelled out in the tarot. So just give this formula some attention and just unmute yourselves one time and share what you see, what speaks to you in this formula.
Just reading it from right to left. I mean, just the thing that just leaps out. I mean, I'm almost looking at this like a storyboard, in a certain
Yeah,
way, and
right.
it's very much like, and with the work that we've all done in this, just looking at it, um, with the suspended man, it's kind of like just this. I don't know. It strikes me as like this journey or understanding of kind of that, I don't know, divine beauty, grace, discernment, whatever it may be. Because the thing is, like with the suspended man, this whole thing of like surrender and just kind of like just allowing and being. I mean, I mean, what you just touched on earlier. I mean, with the two, Haida and Pendula, right there, just that whole thing of that stillness and that presence and just allowing in and all that. And so that kind of leads to the hermit, which is there's this proper alignment. I think it's just something that comes up, or just
Hmm.
that sense of just that wisdom, that understanding. Again, just again, I'm really shorthanding all the stuff that we've been talking about for the last 2 years, right? But just the thing of the hermit with that, that light, that the guidance, and just that again, just the wisdom, that element there, and just kind of because looking at that with the wisdom of surrender and the wisdom of just allowing and the wisdom of grace and just all of it there, and then just it leads into like the fortune key, just that there is, it's like balance within the randomness is the way it always just strikes me. Just that whole like there is, I mean, all the stuff that we've touched on, TARO and Yod Hey Vav Hey and all the like.
Hmm.
It's just there's still that again that it's like trust the process, trust the system, trust what is there for the sheer fact that it is again surrendering to it and allowing with the fool and that I don't know the fool always just comes up as like just that daringness, faith, all just there's, I mean, the fool's incredible, but just something about it, and then just that leads to that justice key of that again, just kind of that evolution of just that that space of seeing, that space of again discernment, right? The sword, and again with the fact that that always gets me with the sword and the scales that the justice key is holding there is like the level of strength and sensitivity that would require to wield it well and to have like again just the essence of what justice is and just that virtue there. So again, it's a little abstract pontification on that, but
No, it's
that's
good.
just kind of something there. Yeah.
Thank you, Easy. Very nice. All right, anyone else?
I'm just interested in the name and the sounds and the elements. Because from
Hmm.
right to left we have the mem, which is water,
Yes.
and then we have the yod, which is come fire. I comes to mind as the flame.
Okay.
But the hermit key, is there another way of looking at? I'll continue.
Yeah, the Virgin, Virgo.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're good. Keep going.
Okay. And then we have the so there's the me and then the k, which is the wheel of fortune, has the four
Mm-hmm.
elements. So that k sound is like a break in the name because of the
Mm-hmm.
structure of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have air here on the other side.
Right.
Um, the A and L,
Mm-hmm.
finishing
Correct.
with justice, which is the desire. Um,
Okay.
Venus, I'm associating Venus with the desire nature.
Okay.
So it's as if to say the Mikael, uh, this is the operation of Mikael, fire, water, balancing the four elements through air, through the word,
Mm-hmm.
via the desire nature, which is, when you really think about it, everything we do is guided essentially by our desire nature
Yes.
ultimately.
Yes. And excellent, Jesse. And it's remember every desire, no matter what it is, all desire is rooted in the self. All desire. So no matter what it is, no matter how we judge it, if you follow it to its source, it will lead back to the self eventually. It might need to be refined a bit, but all desire is rooted in the self because that's it. And yeah, like you said, virtually everything we do is driven by it's the power, right? It's the it's the nature,
Hmm.
the nature of love.
It reveals the unity that is present. The it reveals the wholeness of our being. The fact that we have a desire
Yes.
reveals that whatever it is that we see as not us or opposite to us,
Yes.
whatever it is that we desire that we might see as not us is already realized on some level.
Hmm? Good. Good.
Or else we wouldn't have it. How could we have? How
Right.
could any field you look at the two poles? They're always connected by the broader field,
Yes.
and so
Good. Who else?
I see the unity of self, the looking inward, the seeking of self, like the suspended man has the white hair and the hermit has the white beard and hair. And then there are the white clouds and the wheel of fortune, and there's the white egg and the white sun and the white dog. And then there's the foot, the shoe, the white shoe, and the justice, and
Yeah.
the white rose also with the fool.
Beautiful. Yes. I can feel that, Victoria. Very nice. Thank you.
As a picture board, the hanged man, his head is has the holiness, and then the radiating self, but you see it's between the green, which would be the love. Now, there's the different types of love, right? I would say Eros would be the lowest form of the love. And then we move over to the hermit, and he shows us the way to purify our love, that desire, to purify the desire nature,
Yeah.
actually, and move
Right.
up through all the different forms of love. He's showing us the way. Follow me. He
Yes.
knows the way. And then we
Yes.
go on to the earth, the wheel of fortune. To me, the four elements of the earth, of course, our training ground, where we get to develop ourselves to become more holy. And we see Victoria said, I believe that was Victoria, the clouds are coming through. And then we get to be the fool. And the fool is definitely going to step off and achieve the attainment by just pretty much true faith and the feeling of the drawing of that white purity of God, of self, the God self. He's ready to go. And then we have him get to justice. And there's a lot of action here in justice, but there's so much balance too. And the sort of discrimination, which cuts it all away. You see the love over her shoulders and her crown, which leads up, and you see all the purple behind her of attainment, of getting to the true place of the purest form of love, which leads us to the God self, the self.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Rachel. Anyone else?
I just find it really interesting that the Wheel of Fortune has that k sound, and it's the central card or key in this name.
Hmm.
And I feel like there's something useful about that, something that I'm wondering about.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, yes, you could contemplate, meditate on that. And you could just, like a mantra in your meditations, you can set this out and then hold it, your inner vision, and silently chant Mikael to yourself. And then try to follow that where that your voice is chanting that inwardly from, just over and over like a mantra. It's a vibratory pattern. So here's a couple of things you might just find interesting. So what I see here is the first thing is surrender. And what are we surrendering to? The Ancient of Days, the Hermit. And what do we mean by the Ancient of Days? We mean the cosmic awareness of being itself behind all appearances. This is the hermit. This is the adept in the tradition that one grows into. And it's also the hermit is the hand, extended hand, right? The extended hand is reaching to help, right? Holding that light up. Now, Kaf is the grasping hand. So we surrender to the hand that reaches and grasps. And what is being grasped? The name El, the formula El, which is God, one of the names of God. And what's being grasped in the very last key in this formula? That sword is being grasped. Now, Mikael means who is like unto God, who is like unto El. This is beyond the intellect. The intellect is just like the dog in the Fool Key. It can only come so high in this venture, come up to almost the knees of our being, right? Humility. But with our intention and the book of wisdom, we're able to more deeply connect to this being, the holy guardian angel. We also see at the top of the wheel this being that is the mystery, the Sphinx, which is part cosmic being and part animal. Just like, right, the Sphinx. Just like a human being, right? A human being is, you are part divine cosmic being and you're part temporal expression in the four elements of Malkut and everything in between. But the beauty of this formula is you can just put it before you and just go from image to image to image and allow it to bring forth what it will bring forth. So be sure and print it off and keep it in your books. While we were just contemplating this name, and before I move on, does anyone else want to share on this that hasn't? Anything that you might see?
With it's kind of more of a question. So with Mikhail, isn't he's associated with the sword? Is that correct? Like the flaming sword, or am I mistaken on that?
No, it's good.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Michael is often seen with a sword, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Like,
just, I mean, just this whole, sorry, go ahead,
yes.
please.
Yeah, Michael is the head, the chief of all of the angels,
Hmm.
and is said to be the chief commander of the angelic army, right? The chief warrior.
Yep.
So yes, it's very much appropriate to Mikhail, the
Yeah.
sword. Just like you see in Ukraine, they
Hmm.
have a statue of Michael with a flaming sword.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Just the
So I
flaming
was
sword, Michael. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
no,
That's
you go
just
ahead. You go ahead.
well, I was just kind of, kind of confirming and affirming and confirming, right? That it's the sword, and it's like the also like associated with the fire and all that. But that was me more speculating. So yeah, I'll stop there. But yeah, please continue.
Cool. So this just occurred to me. Look at the keys in this formula. You've got, and this is just for fun. I mean, I'm sure it just occurred to me, but it's just kind of fun. So you've got the suspended man, right? You've got the hermit, the wheel of fortune, and then you have um, super consciousness, Aleph, but and then justice. Now on the tree, I was thinking this is interesting because four of five of those paths are connected. And so here's the wheel of fortune, here's the hermit, here's justice, and here's the wheel of the suspended man. It's interesting. It makes an M on the tree. You see that? The
Yeah,
paths
no,
of the connect.
and we're this is yes, the suspended man's there. Yeah, that's definitely it.
That's all. Just just
It's cool.
just interesting. That's all. And of course on the middle pillar we've got the high priestess,
Mhm.
which is Sophia, Isis, or Mary. And you see it often with Mary above the Archangel Michael, as Michael is carrying out the commands of the divine hosts in the heavenly realms above. Just thought that was interesting.
Cool.
All right.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Okay, this week, um, continue your core practice with the temperance key. You can also contemplate on that formula if you like, but just letting go of all that's not useful or necessary, knowing that only self really knows what that is, but we trust it. Focus on this key in your core practice each night and ask the angel to meet you in your dreams. You want to deepen this relationship. Request it. The teaching is to the degree that we are sincere, to that degree we receive. It's that simple. We have to be persistent because this is the intelligence that tests our sincerity. It's that simple. It's like the universe, the consciousness, in the whole system is self-regulating. Pure vibratory love doesn't even require uh, defense, because it's the vibration of pure love is so high that nothing of a lower vibratory nature can threaten it. Because it can't vibrate at that level. But it's from that level that the self, seen in the angel, in each person descends into the world and then raises back up and redeems the creation back to the source. This is sometimes called the great work. We do it individually within us, and as we do that, it does so, expands out collectively and helps us all increase the light within our being, manifest. So talk to the angel each night, make the request to wake up in your dreams, to have a deeper encounter, and then watch what happens. You might consider whatever your intuition says to you, go with that. But you might consider asking the angel to take you to this peak, to this point between the two mountain peaks behind him, where the crown is. Ask. Okay. You can also alternate your core practice with this from the key 14 every other night if you like, with the same intention. This is quite potent. It's the same image you see on the mind's eye area of the angel in key 14. And of course, it's the universal symbol for soul, the sun. So persist in your desires and intentions to have contact, to have real inner gnosis, experience, and knowledge of the holy guardian angel within you. Peace to all of us. This concludes our third class on the path. Temperance, the middle path on the middle pillar. Thank you all for your light and participation. Floor is now open for any questions or comments.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Just say, yeah, no, this is great. I will also say it definitely going through this, it definitely, I don't know, something about it really lands. And I also say appreciate the spending more time on this key, spending a couple of weeks on it than just because like with, I mean, again, with what we've explored this far and all that, it's just like, oh yeah, this is not, there's a lot more to it than that. So like spending a week on it, I could feel going like, oh wait, let's circle back real quick. So
Right.
having this additional time has been very helpful. So I just want to say appreciate that. And it makes sense as to why it's the case.
Yes. Thank you, Easy. Yes, absolutely. This is, and pretty much the great work is summed up in this key for most of us. As long as we're incarnate, this is the you know it sometimes this key is called art or the art, and it's in the Christian tradition, it would be, asking Christ into our heart and coming into a personal relationship, right, with the master. And because the being here is our connection to the Christos, to the Logos. It's that aspect within us. And most all of this tempering is working with our desired nature and our animal incarnation. You know, the path is right. It says that animals are made into human beings, and human beings are evolved into superhuman beings. And this is kind of the spiritual evolution we're in. I'll stop recording.